got a couple questions on how I do what I do when I record my music, and I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a tour of my music room, my man cave, my sanctuary, if you will, and show some of the pieces of equipment that I've used to record music through the years. Because after all, before all the other topics and things that we talk about on this channel, before all that, I was into all of this, right? Obviously, I didn't get this all at the same time, right? So I've been fooling around with recording music since the mid 90s, actually the early 90s, if you count like boom boxes and tape recorders and things of that nature. And I started with a old school 4-track recorder. So I figured it'd be fun to kind of run through some of the gear real quick. But first thing I'm going to do is I wanted to give you a size or a sense of the scale. That was weird. I just heard the door close. There's nobody else in the house. Anyway, I figure I'd give you a sense of scale um, as to the size of the room. It's more got a length to it than it does a width. But we'll go ahead and kind of go through all this real quick. This will be real brief because I'm not going to reveal all of the secret behind the sauce. Because most of it, of course, is X Factor. I have no formal training in music. I've never really had any lessons or anything, and I don't really know how to read music or anything. I just kind of make it up. I'm more of a songwriter than I am a musician. So there's that. So we'll just go into it real quick. So for the purposes of maintaining operational security, you will only be granted access view to one side of the room. Thank you. All right, so here we got our Casio CDP 100 88 key hammer weighted digital piano. That is an actual electric piano. Here is my Moog Sub Fatty. So this is a subtractive analog synthesizer, and it was recently fitted with new walnut side panels. Very nice. My Cats and synthesizers, or Cats on synthesizers and space pin that somebody that works for me bought for me because he's into cats and he knows I'm into synthesizers. Here's my Korg D1600 Mark II digital recording studio. This is what I used to record the blues song that I recorded yesterday and put on my YouTube channel, Dust in My Whiskey. The actual sound that you heard was recorded on this, and then I actually just videoed myself with my phone while I played the parts recording into this, and then I just overlaid those videos onto each other and made that video. Some folks were asking, so that's how I did it. I've been schlepping this thing around for 20 years, and it's a 16-track digital recording studio. And it's seen better days. It's got missing buttons. A couple of buttons don't work, and this dial, you can turn it up or down, but it only goes down. So luckily there's a screen-based option to go up on the songs. But might see if I can send this to Korg to get repaired. It is old. I don't even know if they're going to service it. A lot of people go to digital audio workstations. I tried that. I just can't make music with a computer, with a mouse. I just can't do it. I had to do this. But the last digital audio workstation I bought actually got fried on me. I use that for YouTube, so I might still buy another one, but I'm done trying to record music on a computer. It just doesn't work for me. I am a manual music player. Case in point, the Tascam 234 Syncassette 4-track recorder. Cassette-based little recording studio. My mom bought that for me used. By the way, that's rack mountable. My mom bought this for me used from the professor of classical guitar at Millikan University in Decatur, Illinois in 1995. That's how long I've had that. Recorded a lot of little crazy little demos on that thing. And mostly instrumental music. I only recently started singing. Here's my Korg MS-20 Mini synthesizer. So it's got the patch panel, so you can do all kinds of wiring to get all kinds of different synthesized noises. And then we have a Korg SQ1 sequencer that I almost never use that can sequence and control synthesizers. Again, I'm a manual guy. I like to strum on strings and play keys. Korg Monotron, a little analog ribbon synthesizer. I got a lot of little synthesizers. Got the stylophones and got some other Korgs and some Teenage Engineering. So a lot of electronics, Arduinos, Raspberry Pis. I'm a man of many hobbies and all the electronic doodads to support it. Here's my grandpa's radio. So this is probably my favorite guitar to play. This is the Taylor GS Mini acoustic electric. It's a 3/4 size, so it's it's a mini guitar, so 3/4 size as opposed to full size. So it's my size. It's perfect. Here's the Fender Precision bass that I used to record the bass line for my song Dust in My Whiskey yesterday, the electric version. So my mom bought this for me for my 16th birthday. I think that was like, what, 96? So there's that. There's my Tama Rockstar drums. I think I got these in like 2002. Zildjian ZBT budget cymbals. And then we have a Wuhan China and a Wuhan Splash. That's kind of like a trash China. Watch, video won't hit an algorithm because I just said that. I prefer Picey or Pace cymbals, but I just, can't justify buying cymbals. But bass drum full of clothes that don't fit me anymore, which are like medium shirts. Part of my old school vintage radio collection. That's just a couple pieces. We'll go through the guitars. By the way, that's a like a Mexican handmade guitar that won't stay in tune, but my mom bought that for me. It's a 12-string deal. It's pretty cool. Ibanez RG series electric guitar. I use that for if I want to record like a heavier metal type of a thing. Here is my Fender Stratocaster, and I've had this since 1992. Bought it in December of 1992. The serial number indicates this was made in Mexico, that this was manufactured in 1992, so it was brand new when I bought it at a Guitar Center in Chicago in 1992. And the the Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes sticker has been on there since 1993, so it's literally part of the personality of the guitar. The pick guard, which, since I never use a pick, doesn't really see much wear, was actually white. I rattle can spray painted it so it wouldn't look like the guitar from Wayne's World. All right, here we got a Teisco. That is a mid-60s Japanese electric guitar. Popular pawn shop guitars of the 90s, early 2000s, a little harder to come by these days. There's a Tele, just a basic Sunburst Fender Telecaster. So, and then over there, that is Ibanez GIO 5-string bass. All three of these are pawn shop guitars. I bought all of those at a pawn shop. Alvarez banjo, bought that brand new in 2002. That is a classical guitar. By the way, these are Roland TD6V. Whoa, my bass guitar just got knocked over. That's all right. That's seen a lot harder falls than that. This is my Roland TD6V. I bought this so I could record music in an apartment. I live in an apartment. But back to this. This is a Protege Cordoba classical guitar with nylon strings. And then this is my old go-to. This is my Takamine GS330S acoustic guitar, part of their G series that they no longer, they no longer make the GS330S. This was my go-to acoustic for like the better part of the last 20 years. Here is my PV Backstage 30. This was my first guitar amp that my stepdad bought for me when he bought me my first guitar in 1990. It was an Epiphone Les Paul copy. I got $50 trade-in on it when I bought the Stratocaster. By the way, this is the 70th anniversary of the release of the Stratocaster. So fitting. It's the year of the Strat, they're calling it. So the Stratocaster was literally released in 1954. So, but back to my Backstage 30. This thing is kind of funny because it's if you play it on a concrete floor or a floor that's not carpeted, you actually get a little bit of jolt of electricity every time you touch the strings. So it might not be the safest, but we don't play it a lot. But we did play it yesterday. We actually mic'd it with this. If I can get it out here, Shure PG58. We just mic'd it and played the bass for the bass part for yesterday's Blue Song and the Strat for yesterday's. Just straight through. No distortion, no effects, just the sound of the guitar. Which, by the way, that Fender Stratocaster has Texas custom Roadhouse Special Pickup Blues pickups in it. So it's got a very unique sound to it, especially since I wired them in there and soldered them and kind of mangled the job. So no other guitar sounds like that. So there's that. And here's my my record player setup, turntable. It's an Audio Technica and Rocket 5 studio monitors. So I've had these for probably 20 years too. You can still go buy those. They're a little bit rounded at the edges, but these still work. So, by the way, here's some abstract art that I painted in acrylic when I was going through my, I guess, Jackson Pollock stage. When I was in college, roughly 2008, I painted those. I did a whole bunch of abstract art back then. And there's like half of my record collection. So probably a lot of stuff I'm missing that would be cool to discuss, but this is already running long, upwards of 10 minutes. So hopefully a couple of people enjoyed that, or at least found it interesting. I did want to mention one more thing before I do go, and that is, and I'll probably clip this and put it at the beginning of the video as well. I am not a professional musician. I don't even really consider myself a musician. I've never had any lessons or instruction. I figured out how to do everything I do, to include playing songs, writing songs, and recording songs. I figured out how to do it all myself. Nobody taught me this. And think how much better I could have been at things, or even more focused, had I had instruction. So I've always been a big do-it-yourself guy. And I think that's a great philosophy to have, to be independent, do it yourself. Some things more than others. Music's fairly harmless, especially being that I've done almost 99% instrumental music. I just now really started singing, which is why it's not the greatest, but it'll get better. I'm kind of trying to get over it. And so it's kind of this stage in my life where I'm trying to get over past fears, right? And part of me posting music publicly is part of that. And so hopefully that'll blossom a little bit more, because what else am I going to talk about? Civil War? Oh, but one other fun fact before I go. See this? This is the interface for my original digital audio workstation on my PC. This is what you plug your guitars into to plug into your PC. This was the first name of my channel, American Sound Lab. So I ended up having to upgrade to a different digital audio workstation, which I don't really even use anymore at all, because my newer interface burnt out. But when I had to upgrade my Mac, this no longer worked. So, but that's what I do. I record music up here, and I've been doing it more lately because I enjoy it, and I'm not getting any younger, so it's time to start getting some music out. Hopefully a few folks enjoy that. Make good decisions, don't waste time.